The Senior Rehab Podcast is sponsored by Health IQ. Health IQ is a special rate life insurance company for health-conscious people like you and me. If you're in the market for life insurance to have peace of mind and to protect your family, I'd highly recommend checking out this company. They are the only life insurance company to use data to leverage lower life insurance rates for active individuals. So the result is that 56% of Health IQ customers save between 4 to 33% on their life insurance premiums, which can definitely add up to big savings over time. To find out more information, just go to healthiq.com/SRP to support the show and to get your free quote. Hit me!
This is a Senior Rehab Podcast, the podcast for rehab clinicians that want to better serve older adults.
Hey there, Senior Rehab Podcast listeners. I'm Tally Spaceman.
I'm Erin Carey.
And this is Senior Rehab Project Shorts.
Shorts.
How's it going?
Wait. It's a special Shorts episode.
It is a special Shorts episode. It's part of our series about frailty. It's number 4.
Yeah. Which means it's time for the interventions.
Yeah. We're going to sit down frailty and say it's an intervention.
What?
So today I want to speak about interventions targeting frailty. It's a systematic review.
Boss.
Yeah.
When was it published?
It was published in 2012. It's not as new as, what we usually bring in. But it was important to me to do that because I like the global thing. I like that it's not all of our articles are from the United States.
So this systematic review...
The research was done in Taiwan. Interventions Targeting Geriatric Frailty, a systematic review. It was published in the Journal of Clinical Gerontology and Geriatrics in 2012.
Cool.
So, as I said, it's a bit old, but I read the article and I thought, it's a really good start for whoever doesn't know anything about frailty and what should I do.
So this is like a nice introduction into what to do about frailty.
Yes, and also it's a nice introduction if you want to give students to read. Also, I like the way they presented the quality of RCTs.
Did they use like Pedro scale? Or?
Yeah, they used the Pedro scale, but they said what they got in every part of the Pedro scale. There's a little table. I like the way they presented the quality of the RCTs. So there was the Pedro scale, but they said what happened in every part of the scale, and there's a little table for that.
Is the table in the article, or is there
it's
like...
in the article.
Okay.
Also, it's an open source. So they wanted to examine care interventions specifically targeting geriatric frailty with focus on the dynamics of frailty status before and after interventions. Because what they said that they found a lot of research, but that frailty wasn't the outcome. It was disability as the outcome. It was other things as the outcome, but nothing said about are they less frail now. The RCTs that they included, they wanted the major outcome not to be disability, but to be frailty. Do we help with frailty or not? So they just typed in frailty as a keyword into PubMed.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've done the same thing.
I have done that many times.
Yeah, right. Preparing for this series.
Yeah. So that gave them 98 articles.
Just frailty and geriatrics only.
Yeah. So which doesn't seem a lot.
No, that's
right?
nothing.
But again, it was in 2012.
True. Before it was really...
Remember that frailty as a thing was not discovered, but was recognized in like 1990 by
that white
physicians.
Paper we talked about. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. And then, I guess the early 2000s was when it really started picking up with the Freed paper.
Yeah. So out of that, they excluded things that didn't have clear definition of what frailty is.
So like everything, because there isn't one?
No, but it's okay that if the article had their own definition, there was either by the Freed or the phenotype.
Yeah.
Or other things that made sense, then they included it. They excluded everything that didn't have the definition or measurements of frailty, or did not specifically put frailty as the outcome of the intervention.
I'm just not sure I understand.
Okay, so let's take the Freed scale.
Yeah.
This is an acceptable outcome measurement.
Okay.
But anything that would measure disability was not an acceptable, just disability.
Okay. I think I see what you're saying now. Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
I'm on the same page.
Out of the 98 articles, 50 were excluded after reading the abstract. The remaining 48 articles underwent 3 reviews of people reading them.
Mm-hmm.
Among them, 6 did not have a clear definition of frailty, and 29 didn't have frailty as the outcome.
Wow.
So that left them with 13, which ended up to be 11 because 2 of them were the same article.
What?
Yeah.
How?
One was a 2003 reprint of something that was done in 1993.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's, huh.
And 2 were the same study, one design paper and one the outcome paper.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a few of those.
Yeah, so it left them with 11.
Only 11. And I feel like those inclusion and exclusion criteria are not super stringent. They're like, frailty is the outcome. Define what it is.
Only 11 met the inclusion criteria out of 98. 98 is not a lot in the...
No.
It's crazy.
For searching frailty and geriatrics.
They actually just searched for frailty, but if they saw they did it,
Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like literally only 98.
You had one job.
God.
And now a quick break to tell you about our sponsor. This episode of the Senior Rehab Podcast is sponsored by Health IQ. I mentioned before that Health IQ is a special rate life insurance company for health-conscious people like you and me. They have a unique mortality model on health-conscious people that allows them to secure lower rates based on actual data. You can think of it like good driver savings on auto insurance. They also have a unique underwriting process where instead of using common measurements like BMI, they use waist-to-hip ratios, cholesterol calculations, and much more to demonstrate a more accurate view of someone's health. So if you're in the market for life insurance to protect your family and have a little bit of peace of mind, I highly encourage you to go to healthiq.com/SRP to get your free quote and help support the show. Thanks.
So 8 studies out of the 11 were classified as a high quality. So this is nice.
That's really good.
Yeah, so it means that, like, you know, it's not about quantity, it's about quality.
Yeah.
And out of the 6 exercise-based interventions, 5 showed significant improvement on at least 2 of their frailty indicators.
Cool.
So that's nice. That's always nice to see. You know what? We're not just telling you to go up and down and lift this and squat here. So
yeah, it helps.
Yeah.
Which of the Freed criteria did it help with?
So I'll get back to you later with that answer.
Cool.
Of which Freed criteria that help with.
Cool.
But another thing that I wanted to say about the exercise, the one that helped the most in all criterias was the functional based training.
Of course it was.
We will do an episode about functional based training versus general exercise. But that always makes me so happy when it made me happy.
Yeah, I mean, it's the sort of thing that we say a lot. And we're like, of course this makes sense. But, you know, the rest of the world doesn't have the sort of expertise that PTs have. Go team.
All the hormone replacement therapy was not effective.
So no pill to fix it all like we had discussed in the last episode.
That would be so fun, though.
What? No.
No, I have to say that if there was a pill that gave you what exercise gives you.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I'll do it.
Yeah, right? All the lazy folks of the world like me would be happy.
No. Yeah. And the hormone therapy there were a few things, calcium and with hormones, without hormones. Like it was interesting to look in the table. But again, look at the table. It's an open source.
There will be a link in the show notes.
And all the people in all the articles were 65 and older.
Heck yes, they were.
Mm-hmm. Mostly from community or primary care clinics. A few articles, all the ones that were multifactorial, as they recommended, because we said we had 3 that were hormone replacement, there were 6 that were exercise, and the rest were multifactorial. One of those 2 physical therapists that referred them to other things if they needed. It was kind of like a case manager situation.
Okay.
There was a physician in one of them that said, okay, we need a cardiologist, we need a nurse, we need other...
ancillary providers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So out of them, they didn't have the results yet when it came, which I was very disappointed. But I did my own research.
Yeah, you
and
did.
Followed them.
So you found the article?
So I found 2 of the 3 articles.
Nice.
Those, I only found one of those.
Bummer.
Yeah, but it showed good results, and it was the one with the PTs as a case manager.
Of course it was. I'm sorry. I'm so biased.
Yeah. A little biased.
Yeah.
Just
We're the best. Duh.
what they did was there were 2 PTs in the community, and the intervention was for 1 year, and they had 10 sessions with a PT over the year.
That's it?
Yeah.
It's like nothing.
But it means that somebody follows you.
That's true. Like checking in month to month, making recommendations.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the PTs made recommendations, should a nurse come, should a doctor come.
Nice.
And it showed really good results.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Interdisciplinary care.
Yeah, I love interdisciplinary care.
Yeah.
I'm really a sucker for that. So overall, yeah, hormone replacement was no good, but the exercise and multidisciplinary were the good ways to go.
So what exercise? You said it was functional exercise specifically?
Now, one of them had Tai Chi as an exercise. Tai Chi improved hand grip.
Okay. Grip strength, yeah.
Yeah. And also fear of falls.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it. Cool.
Yeah.
I just wonder if like maybe the authors will be doing an updated systematic review to this one. If not,
I really hope so.
Yeah, I mean, if not, it's using their criteria. I'm sure someone else could draft something and publish it. This is an opportunity to our listeners if you want to do that.
My take from the article, even though they didn't write it down, function.
Yeah, I'm into it.
It's frailty is not gonna be prevented by only going to doctor appointments.
Yeah, see your physical therapist.
Yeah, and another take that we can reverse it. Erin, have anything else to say?
No, I think that's pretty clear cut. I'm very interested in an update, honestly, and to see how the literature has developed since 2012. Maybe like more specific exercises or other interventions as well.
Oh, another thing I wanted to say, that a 1-year program of frail obese elderly improved all frailty measurements.
Boss.
So whoever is a little bit afraid to work with frail people that are obese,
don't be, because you can really do a lot of good.
Yeah, and there were programs of 1 year, there were programs of 9 months, there were a program of 12 weeks. It was a little different. Again, I'm gonna put the article in the show notes. If you don't have to read the article, look at tables; they're awesome.
Yeah, I love tables.
Yeah.
Thanks to the Senior Rehab podcast listeners for listening to this show. Thank you, Tali, for teaching me about this really awesome systematic review. And if you want to learn more or get into the conversation, you can find us at facebook.com/Senior Rehab Project. Look out for upcoming Facebook Live episodes and the resources we have available there. You can also go to seniorrehabproject.com, I think. I should actually know the website.
I know nothing. That's why I leave it to you.
Yeah, cool. All right. So I'm Erin Carey.
And I'm Tali Spaceman.
And as always, stay funky.
Hit me! Thank you for listening to the Senior Rehab Podcast. If you only listen to these podcast episodes, you are missing out on 90% of the Senior Rehab Project. Hop on over to seniorrehabproject.com where you can join the movement that's advancing care for older adults. You can join for free or become a part of the Game Changers where you can get some free gear and access to our monthly meetup. Just go to seniorrehabproject.com. I appreciate y'all, and I'll talk with you soon. But in the meantime, do not forget to stay funky.